Welcome back, or anybody that's new to the Cologne Talk X
TJ Talk Sense podcast.
episode 23, baby. And we have a very special guest on this episode. Go ahead and introduce yourself, my man.
What's up, everyone? Yeah, my name is Zain. I'm the founder of Cologne Collection. We're a TikTok, Instagram page. Hopefully, you've seen us. We do reviews, unboxings, interviews, etc. And we also sell fragrance samples in 1 to 10 ml sizes. And we're based in London, but worldwide operations. So yeah.
And you see
So,
what you see when everyone talks like decanting and stuff. I feel like we have to say like we're not in affiliation with any of the brands as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah.
so
I mean, I've been bitten by that just because some brands don't like decanters, some others don't mind. Basically, is what it comes down to. Chanel definitely does not like decanters. I have an email to prove that as well. A very
yeah,
strongly worded email.
I have beef with Chanel too, man. They took some videos down of mine because I just showed the bottle. That's it.
Just showing the bottle.
Just
I,
showing the
they
bottle.
sent me a literal cease and desist letter because they saw it was one of their legal team. Like I got little legal counsel Chanel saying, "Hey, you're decanting. This is like a trademark violation." Blah blah. But it's not. Long story short, it's not. And there's like literal legal legal cases that you can point to that show precedence that this is allowed. But because Chanel is a brand that wants to be very exclusive and manage its sales channels, they obviously have a problem with it. Other brands like Creed, Tom Ford, I mean, why do you think they sell 250 ml, 1000 ml decanters? Not for the average Joe. It's because they know decanters are gonna spread the love, right? So yeah, there's a place for it in the industry, and I think hopefully we can shed some insight on the opportunity for other people.
So when you seen that email from Chanel, were you like, yo, this is not real? No, there's no way. Or were you like, oh shit, I seen this coming?
I mean, in a way, I was scared, obviously, because there's no way you can fight Chanel. But in a way, I felt like, wow, like if you're doing something that Chanel's legal counsel has noticed, you're pissing off the right people. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you're on to something. And I took it as validation in a big way. I think every company that has done something significant has had people take them to court. So as far as I'm concerned, it's a rite of passage. Bring it on. I think it'd be great marketing, as a matter of fact. Chanel suing Cologne Collection. Hey, let the world know. Let the world know.
You're
So
ready to
you
take it to court.
I mean, I'll let them take me to court if the headlines get to like the Sun and CNN. It'll be worth the lawyer's fee. It'll be nothing. It'll be like the best marketing investment ever. So
when you first started out, yeah, did you plan to get into the fragrance industry to decant, or was it you started making content first and then you saw that as an avenue to go down?
no, it was actually the first thing, the former. So I was working. So I was working at Uber as a senior partnerships manager. I have a 10-year history out of college doing commercial sales, partnerships, marketing. So I was really kind of just a traditional job, 9 to 5, stuck in. Um, but I was always very entrepreneurial, and I had a personal passion in fragrance. So I actually do kind of remember the exact moment where I thought like, this maybe let me just try like this as a business. I was talking to my girlfriend at the time, and I always pitched her business ideas like, bro, I have like 20 failed ideas, which we can discuss another time. But the point is, I have a long history of trying businesses. And then one day we were talking about fragrance, and I was just like, yo, do you remember those magazines that you'd have back in the day where like the pages would open and it would like have smell on it? And I remember being a kid, my mom had like a few magazine subscriptions. So as a kid, she would get the magazines, and I would always like rip those pages out because I was obsessed with cologne. And so I remember I just thought to myself, I'm like, why doesn't that like exist today? Because with more control, like, you can actually choose the scented paper or scented card. So when I started, I wasn't even decanting, bro. I was literally sending sample cards. Um, because that was the idea, just like sampling, like just like let's replace walking into a retail store and doing the whole song and dance of cards, smelling cards with a salesperson. You go nose blind too, you know, like there's a long list. If you're into fragrance, you know, going to a retail store is kind of annoying. So anyways, started the online cards, and then I started doing TikTok, and then just both of them kind of flourished. And yeah, one day I went viral, sold a lot, and yeah, the rest is history.
And what does that time frame look like? When was that beginning?
So I think 2024 now, February. So I'd say 2021 of February. So exactly 3 years ago, actually. In fact, my first sale, if I recall, was on 18th February 2021. So basically 3 years, yeah.
Wow.
3-year anniversary. And look where
Yeah,
it's
it's
been.
crazy, man. I mean, and the guy bought 80 pounds worth of samples, like, and I didn't even have them. I just literally the website was so basic. It was just like I used Google Slides to like make a picture of a fake box. I put the logo on the box. I basically just like wrote a nice like explanation of what's inside. And then yeah, one person just bought 80 quids worth. Like I put 3 sizes. That was the large size of 80 quid.
Yeah.
And then I was like, oh shit, like now I actually need to go to Harvey Nichols, Harrods. And bro, I have a TikTok video where I show, I had Ziploc bags that I would like stuff the card in, and after I sprayed it, and then I would just send that. I would like literally send that. So like scented cards in a Ziploc bag. But obviously, you know, it turns out that that's not really a great way of sampling. People prefer decants. So now, you know, we do the 1 to 10 ml sizes. So, and yeah, business has grown a lot. So yeah, and I think that there's big opportunity for other people in the fragrance game. Like, dude, look at you, right behind you, bro. You're like 10, maybe $20,000 worth of fragrance right there. And, you know, and you know, TJ has recently started doing it. He's already seen a lot of success. There's a lot of other people that are doing it. You know, I'm not here preaching I've discovered this method. No, like decanting has been around as this kind of subculture in the fragrance industry for a long time. The difference today is that because of the internet, because of social media, there is now an opportunity for the community to really kind of come together and make it a better way to discover fragrance and share fragrance. So
yeah, no, I fully agree. I've been ordering samples for, I'll probably say about 10 years now. Since I was 18, I've been ordering samples. I was getting these little pouches come through the letterbox like at least once a week. I was spending like 10, £20 a week just to try new fragrances. So a lot of people don't have the time or access to be able to go into these stores and try these fragrances. So I think it's a perfect way for people to try things and learn more about fragrance without actually having to spend money and go out of their house.
100%. I mean, how many of those bottles, if you don't mind me asking, have you gotten bored of that are over 3 years old? You know?
Loads.
A good chunk, yeah.
And maybe a little bit of dust collecting on a few.
Yeah, yeah. I told TJ, I was like, yeah, I might start getting into decanting as well because I seen him doing it and you know he likes doing it and it's a good thing to do on the side. And I was like, yeah, I might as well start doing it because I'm not going through any of these bottles anytime soon, you know?
Absolutely. I mean, dude, decanting, I just think if you are someone who collects, it is a perfect way to fund that expensive hobby. You know, some people are going to do it just to cover the cost of their existing collection. Other people might really want to like make a profit. There's a lot of room, you know, for whatever type of seller you want to be, right? Because at the end of the day, the more you can, you know, get new fragrances by selling decants, you know, because the thing is, if you sell your this is the key. This is an important thing to mention. With fragrance, you actually have a very unique characteristic that other items do not have. So like everybody knows you can sell luxury items. Like that's a big industry. You can resell Birkin bags, you know, Louis Vuitton. Blah. However, most of the time, unless it's a special item, you get like 70%, 60% of what you paid for it back, right? So best case scenario, the same thing is true with perfume as a bottle. The same thing is true as perfume as a bottle. If you buy a perfume bottle, use a bit of it, blah, 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 and it's used, you can sell it for maybe 60, maybe on a good day, 70% of face value, right? However, with decanting, you can recoup not just 100% of what you paid. You can actually maybe even get 200%. And that is what, the cycle to then buy new perfumes, which you can then make more content for, which opens up more marketing partnerships, which acts as, a whole other income flow.
Yeah.
TJ knows all about that as well. I'm sure you know about it too. You get all these brands approaching you because you're making content with new fragrances. So you're making marketing income from these sponsorships, and you're making income from selling your fragrance. And that is like a cycle to like keep at, so you can buy the new ones, stay up to date, blah, blah, you get it. So yeah.
Yeah, because so I was speaking to Yasser about this months ago before I even started, and I just said it's perfect because we're content creators first and foremost. We don't just do decanting, yeah. So if we're bringing out reviews on fragrances every day, once we decant a fragrance, that obviously gives us more money to be able to buy a different one, which we can then talk about and decant, and the cycle goes on. So it helps for content as well because you can essentially buy anything you want.
Precisely. Yeah, that's exactly the cycle. Precisely the cycle. You decant, you have money to buy more fragrance, more content, more money. You sell it, just the cycle it just complements itself perfectly.
It's a win-win.
Yeah, absolutely. So why haven't you started decanting? Yes.
Exactly.
Because
I mean,
my
it
other
is
job,
tedious,
man.
but I just want to know what your excuse is so far. Have you been
Okay,
thinking about it,
so
or?
my excuse is I want to get out the product to the people as fast as I can, but with having like another full-time job, it's not gonna be my main concern. So I might lack in shipping time and all that, and I don't want to take like 3 days to ship out somebody's product. I want to ship it out quick, and I feel like that's not something I'm gonna be able to achieve.
It is tedious work. So yeah, I mean, it is work at the end of the day. It's not like a get rich quick scheme.
Yeah.
But it is, I mean, it's changed my life. I'm not trying to sound too poetic, but bro, I used to like I said, I had a full-time job. I was in the corporate life. I'm not trying to talk negatively. In fact, I miss that life a lot because being a business owner has its own challenges. But anyways, the point is, I have my ultimate freedom from literally extracting perfume from a bottle and selling it in little sizes. Like, what? Like, bro, and I'm making more money than I was at my last job. Like, it took a while to break that threshold, but numbers, just to kind of, because I know numbers, people love to hear numbers, just to give you an idea. The first year, and this is when I was working, in a corporate job, 9 to 5. I did I think maybe 8,000 pounds in the first 12 months, right? Okay. Second year, when I'm like, okay, I've kind of got the hang of this, and when TikTok started working, 200,000 pounds. Second year, yeah, bro. So from 8.
Wait,
we got
hold
the
on.
funny for the amount. They heard the amount. They're like, "Yo, turn this up."
We need to repeat that. We need to repeat that for the people. So when you started decanting, first year, 8,000 pounds in 12 months.
In the first 12 months. So basically like 500 pounds a month, 600, so I was really just getting it, because bro, it's a very complicated business, especially when you start selling different sizes, different brands, international. And when you're doing it full time, so anyways, the point is that there's a lot to figure out to actually really scale it. But once you get the hang of it, once you have a process in place, once you have your best practices down, you can actually, like, bro, like, I'm not gonna lie. The calculations show. Wait, let me backtrack, because you wanted me to repeat the numbers. So first year 8,000, second year 200,000, right? So
that's the statement.
That's a several thousand % increase. Yeah. So from year one as a novice was 7,000. I said 7,000 pounds, right? And then second year 200,000 pounds. It's like, by the way, I want to caveat, it's not profit; it is top line revenue. But the profit on that is about 40%. So that's like 80 grand, of income paid. And by the way, I wasn't even working full time in the second year. Like, I was still like, maybe like working 3 hours a day packing. So my point is, like, I've done the number calculating, right? And we have busier months than others, but basically, I don't want to talk about that because I don't think people are thinking about starting a decanting company with employees and stuff. They're thinking, how much money can I make with my collection if I do this a couple of hours a day, right? So I think that is totally. I'm not trying to be like this crazy person, but 2 to 3 hours a day, you could probably make over £100,000, right? And if you're doing it full time, you can get close to like 7 figures if you're doing it full time. And this is as one person, right? So like if you expand and expand and expand, then you can start to like really, really get some interesting income from this. And that's why I think it's such a big opportunity. More people need to get on it, and there needs to be like a way to make it accessible for more people.
Yeah, like I can add on to that. So today, what is it, Sunday? I've done orders from 11 o'clock till 2. So that's 3 hours. I think I've done about 50, maybe 52 orders in total. And that's just from orders that came in on Saturday.
And what's your average order value? Like 20,
Average order
30?
value is about 20 quid.
So 50 orders you did in 3 hours, you said, right?
Yeah.
Times an average order value of 20. So that's £1,000. And let's
This
just,
guy's
it's not all profit. It's not all profit, but
he's baiting
basically,
out the peas.
you're making 330 pounds per hour, and like obviously it's not, like I said, all profit.
Yeah.
Even if half of it's profit, dude, you're making 160 quid an hour. You're on some, but the thing is, you have to understand, like, you need the orders, you need the marketing. And I think that's why, if you have so I guess this would tie nicely into what we're building. So we're launching a marketplace similar to, I guess, Depop would be the best way to kind of have a comparison. So Depop, obviously, amazing company. It's a marketplace for used fashion by people, right? People like you or me who just buy clothing. So similarly, we think that we can make a Depop for decanting in a way, where people create a profile, they list the pictures of what perfumes, fragrances they have in their collection, and then they sell decants that way. And they have a public profile so they can get reviewed. We, as the platform, police it to make sure like there's not people sending fake stuff and like bad actors and da. Obviously, payments would be held until the customer receives it and is happy. And then this way, another important thing to note is that, bro, there's hundreds of thousands of fragrances, right? So like there's something for everyone. So that's why having a marketplace where anyone and everyone can sell bits of their collection, you're catering to everyone. So you have the variety. Because it's a marketplace, you have competitive pricing. And because you have people everywhere selling it, convenient delivery for fragments all across the world. So this is the dream. We're very close, like hopefully in next week, I might have a version 1. So basically right now, my plea is whoever's interested, get in touch with us. We actually have a link on our Instagram. If it's not live right now, I'll double check to make sure it is, where you can actually submit your email and then we'll let you know when version 1 is live.
They're expanding and all that.
Yeah, because that was something I was discussing with you. So before I was getting started, we kind of spoke about it. And say, for example, this is how I kind of understood it. So say I've got my fragrances here in my collection, and obviously I'll list up what I've got in mind, but I could either send you full bottles or I could extract, I don't know, 50 ml from 100 ml fragrance, send that to you. Then when the orders come through, like you actually do the fulfilling the orders.
Yes, sorry, I did forget to mention that there will be 2 ways to do the fulfillment. We want to keep it open because I think some people will want to do it themselves.
Yeah.
And then there's obviously a fulfilled by us, where, as you described, you would just send us the perfume you want to sell. We decant it on your behalf, or you can send us it decanted. We'd prefer to do it on your behalf just because then it's all systematized. But the point is, if you have fragrances you want to sell as decants, we're going to provide a platform where you can either do it yourself or you can send the perfume and we'll do it on your behalf. So hopefully that, is good for whatever type of seller you are.
Yeah.
It's pretty dope.
Because I get messages on a daily basis of people asking me how they can start decanting. But
I get it too, man.
But one thing
sorry, go on.
Yeah, but one thing I think that people maybe forget when it comes to decanting, right? Yeah, is you just have a 16-year-old guy or however old they are, they just want to sell to make money, essentially. Yeah, like how much did you make? But it's not about that, because say they start and on TikTok they've got 100 followers. 99% chance they're not going to make the same amount as me or you, because the market is, we are marketing ourselves essentially. So you're not just going to be able to start and offer fragrances and you're just going to get orders flying in. So for me, content is the most important thing.
In a way, I agree. However, because once again, because it's a marketplace, the combined efforts of everyone will benefit everyone, hopefully. So
No.
like,
I'm talking about now, just someone just starting selling now and just putting up on their TikTok
Oh,
samples
right.
to
Yeah,
sell.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
If you're just like someone who decides today, hey, I want to sell decants, it's very challenging because you need the marketing, you need a lot of traffic, which is expensive and difficult to acquire. You can go on marketplaces like eBay, like Mercari. I mean, those do exist, but they're covered in fakes. And because of how skeptical eBay is, there are so many examples of people who sell legit fragrance on eBay. Not even decants, just any type of fragrance. The person receives it and tells eBay, no, the liquid is fake. I know. And then eBay just sides with the buyer. So basically anything that is like immaterial that you can't like physically inspect is, eBay just doesn't want to deal with it. So basically decants is like a major no-no. So they will just shut down your account. If you're a seller on eBay and you get like one negative review, your whole decant shop has been shut down. So that's another reason why a dedicated platform where, we as the, police, as I don't want to say police because it sounds a little negative, but we as the kind of the guardians, we just want to ensure, and it's quality assurance too, because we're not going to just let anyone sign up. We want people, like, there will be an onboarding process to say, okay, can you like jump on a FaceTime? Can you show us your collect? Like, it would be literally like this, like, okay, to become a verified seller and list and etc., we need to like jump on a call. I want to see your bottles, make sure it's legit. We'll even mystery shop, we'll like do a secret order from them to make sure it's of the right stuff, right quality. So anyway, the point is there's a lot of ways to manage bad actors and prevent them entirely. But yeah, if you want to get into decanting, marketing is a huge aspect of it. So there needs to be a dedicated place where you can do that and start to like grow and grow and grow. So hopefully this will offer that to people.
Yeah, and yeah.
So what do you say the biggest complication of decanting is? Do you get like a lot of people who say, oh, their decant came in broken, or you get like any of those like insurance frauds kind of thing?
I mean, yeah, I think with any business, there's going to be issues. There's always going to be a couple of issues with customers. With breaking, I have barely had any issues. We just invest in good packaging. Also now with our products, we have a cover over our atomizers, which is pretty sturdy. So it really does not break the glass inside. And also, if you're going to do the smaller samples, like the 1 mLs or the 3 mLs, it's best practice to use a plastic atomizer because that won't break. And then also you can use thinner shipping, which is cheaper and also slides into the mail slot so that you have, less issues with delivery. Parcels, if they're left outside, if someone's not there, can get stolen. That sometimes happens. Very rarely has a decant broken in transit. It was maybe just I didn't put enough stuffing paper in there.
So my thing would be like the idea you said to me, it sounds like a great idea because like if say for example Cologne Talk, you were starting out decanting, and you just started a TikTok page and you just wanted to make money selling, it's going to be hard for you to do. But if you could jump on like the service that Cologne Collection is going to offer, you essentially have the eyes in the marketplace already. It's like Amazon. If people don't know that nearly everything on Amazon is sold by just individual people like me or you, loads of people still think it's just Amazon. But people can list something on Amazon today and make £100,000 in a year because people are going to that one place. So that's what it sounds like with this kind of thing you want to start.
Exactly. And I didn't want to say it because it sounds a little grandiose, like the Amazon or whatever. But in an ideal world where I could like paint a picture of what this becomes, yeah, absolutely. And like an Amazon of the olfactory, would be great because as you pointed out, Amazon has that exact model where they do allow third-party sellers to ship directly, but most of it I think is fulfilled by Amazon. And I think that just gives customers, those three key things, which is variety, competitive pricing, and then convenient, guaranteed delivery. So that is, I think, what we want to bring to fragrance in decants specifically, because it's just such a, come on. I mean, I'm not trying to like sound too negative, but the fragrance industry, bro, it's so old school. It's so old school, bro. It needs like a little bit of a fucking refreshing. Sorry, I didn't mean to swear. It needs a bit of a
No, you're
freshen,
good.
a tech, like, like it needs a bit of like a better way to access.
Rebranding.
Yeah, I mean, seriously, man. I mean, for every other media, for music, for food, for what other media, for video, like you can stream anything,
Yeah.
And I consider fragrance to be a type of media in a way. It's art, right? Which you could argue is like a consumable form of media. And if we're getting really kind of metaphorical, a platform like this, if done correctly, could offer like smell-o-vision to people, right? You see a fragrance and you're like, I wonder what that smells like. And it's as simple as just ordering a sample. It's there the next day, hopefully, depending on where you live. And then, bro, it's up to you to decide, do I want to commit to this 100 ml or do I want to like a travel size, which will last me, bro, 10 ml can last people years. I'll down that hill. Some people are like, 10 ml is like a monthly. I'm like, bro, for some fragrances, 10 ml will last you like 6 months. But
for me, it's a week.
But yeah, man, I'm super excited about it because I see so many people similar to me who just have a fragrance passion, who have a lot of fragrances with them. Because before the business, I did have a collection. I just didn't want to invest before I had a proof of concept. By the way, when I had that proof of concept with the physical cards, I like started investing some serious money into the business. But I was just a guy with a passion for fragrance, with a bunch of bottles at home, and I think there's going to be thousands of people who hear that sentence and are like, that sounds like me. I'm also a passionate fragrance guy or girl, and I have a bunch of bottles and I don't wear a lot of them. So why would you not make money from it? It's that simple. Make money from your passion.
So what's your most decanted fragrance on your?
Yeah, it's a good question. It does change a little bit month to month and season to season, but some of the best sellers are Creed Aventus, Tom Ford Oud Wood, Louis Vuitton Ombre Nomade. What else? Louis Vuitton Imagination has been like climbing the charts lately.
It's been getting hyped lately.
Yeah, and then obviously, how could I forget Maison Francis Kurkdjian Baccarat Rouge?
Yeah.
I bought like 3 bottles the other day because I was gonna run out.
So I want to ask you a question. Yeah, this is probably going to be the title of the episode of this podcast. Yeah, how much do you spend a month on fragrances?
I mean, I don't want to give a disappointing answer, but because the way that the months can like vary and the different types, because some fragrances are so expensive, some are not, and some we already have a lot in stock. I think a better thing would be how much have I spent last year.
Yeah, that's perfect.
I think last year, because I think I do have a figure last year.
It's over $1 million.
So I do have a Harrods rewards card, so at least I'm optimizing my spend here. I'm getting rewards on all my fragrance purchase, and I sell it too. But yeah, I spent about over 250,000 pounds on fragrance in the last year. Yeah.
Damn, son.
Yeah.
God,
so
damn.
but I want to I'm not doing it because I like all of it. It's not for me.
Business is business.
To share and to sell, like without sounding like a salesman, I do it because it's my business. It's my full-time job, decanting, right? So it is, yeah, it sounds like a crazy amount of money, but it's blossomed into this, and I'm blessed, and hopefully it only gets more and more and more, so.
That's amazing, man. And that's the title of the episode. I spent £250,000 on fragrances.
That's actually good. I wasn't even thinking about the title. I was just trying to be as honest as possible. But yeah, I mean, mate, honestly, I have like 6 different Harrods representatives on WhatsApp who message me on a weekly basis, because I'm sure Harrods has like a list of big spenders, and bro, like they're always being like,
list.
"Oh, Mr. Khan, can I please invite you to this?" Because they're like, this guy spends a lot. Little do they know that I'm actually cheap AF. broke, just putting all the money is just in the business. Like it's not really personal spend. So anyways, but yeah. So it is what it is, but I think it's great, and I think more people should do it.
Definitely. It's something nice to do on the side.
With by the way, sorry, with the Harrods rewards card, because I spend so much, sometimes I walk in and I have like thousands of pounds of free credit. So there's days where I go in and I walk out without even paying anything. So that's also kind of like a little baller kind of side benefit of doing this. You feel like a baller.
That
And
is
like,
the
yo,
life.
the girls at Louis Vuitton are like, yo, this guy's dropping $1,000 on refills.
He walks out with 4
I'm like,
bags of Louis fragrances.
and then, yo, they've asked me like, yo, you must really like these fragrances, and I don't have the heart to tell them that I'm actually decanting. But yeah, no, it's wild. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
But no, I think people are going to learn a lot from this. And obviously, when you launch that platform as well, I think that's going to be a success as well. Loads of people are going to jump onto that. So, as he's already mentioned,
So.
anyone listening, that link will be in his bio as well. So everyone click that, drop him an email as well, and go and follow his content, man. He does the best street interviews around as well. But
The best
thank you for
cameraman.
jumping on, bro. Come on.
But
Thank you for jumping on,
thank you
bro.
guys. Thank you
It
guys
was
so
a
much.
pleasure picking.
I apologize for some rambles, just because I'm a very passionate business guy, and I just really want my enthusiasm and excitement to kind of come through the screen, because when we launch this platform, if no one signs up, we're not gonna invest in it. So really, yeah, please, we'll have a link to register your interest. We already have like 300 people registered for interest. We've been promoting this, but it's about to launch. That's why I think this podcast is perfect timing. So thank you both,
100%.
and yeah, I'll speak to you guys soon.
Of
Thank
course,
you,
man. It
bro.
was a pleasure getting your brains on this and everything, man.